Sorry. You say it before you even know what you're apologizing for. Someone bumps into you, and you're the one who says it. A meeting runs long because of someone else's mistake, and somehow it's your name attached to the apology. The word leaves your mouth faster than the thought behind it ever forms. I used to say sorry for things that weren't even mine to carry. I apologized for asking a question in a meeting. I apologized for needing 5 more minutes. I once apologized to a chair after walking into it, as if the chair had feelings I needed to protect before my own bruised shin. This is the apology reflex. And if the word sorry seems to live permanently at the front of your mouth, ready to fire before anyone's even upset, this one is for you. Maybe you've noticed it in an email you rewrote 3 times just to soften a simple request. Maybe it's the way you apologize for taking a sick day, or for asking a coworker to repeat themselves, or for having an opinion that differs from the room. The word shows up long before any real offense does, almost like a reflex with its own trigger finger. Here's the thing nobody tells you. This isn't really about manners. Somewhere along the way, sorry stopped being a response to an actual mistake and became something else entirely. A way to make yourself smaller before anyone else had the chance to make you feel that way first. It became a shield disguised as good behavior. Sound familiar? That instinct to soften your presence before anyone's even asked you to? It makes complete sense that you do this. If taking up space ever felt risky, if a raised voice, a disappointed look, or a tense silence once taught you that being too much had consequences, your mind found a workaround. Apologize preemptively, and maybe the tension never arrives at all. Sorry became less of an apology and more of a peace offering, paid in advance. Here's what's actually happening underneath it. It isn't politeness. It isn't humility either, though it likes to wear humility's clothes. It's a nervous system trying to stay one step ahead of conflict by shrinking before conflict even has a chance to show up. But here's the quiet cost of that strategy. Every time you apologize for something that was never your fault, you quietly confirm a belief that was never actually true. The belief that your presence, your needs, your questions are somehow an imposition. Say it enough times, to enough people, and you start to believe your own overcorrection. You start to actually feel guilty for things that required no guilt at all. Have you noticed that? The apology isn't really for them. It's a small transaction with an old fear, one that has nothing to do with the person standing in front of you. This is where it gets a little uncomfortable to admit. Because the apology reflex doesn't just show up in big moments. It shows up when you ask a barista to remake your order. It shows up when you disagree gently in a group chat and immediately soften it with, "Sorry, just my opinion though." It shows up when you cry and apologize for crying, as if your own emotions were an inconvenience you're responsible for managing on someone else's behalf. Each one seems small, but stacked together they quietly teach the people around you, and worse, they quietly teach you that your needs come with an apology attached. Like a tax you have to pay just to exist in a room. So let's turn this around. The truth is, an apology is only meaningful when it's attached to an actual harm. Needing something is not a harm. Having a feeling is not a harm. Asking a clarifying question, taking up your allotted 5 minutes, disagreeing without malice, none of that requires forgiveness, because none of it was ever a violation to begin with. That doesn't mean you throw the word away entirely. Real accountability still matters, and a genuine mistake still deserves a genuine apology. What shifts is the automatic reflex, the sorry that fires before you've even checked whether anything actually went wrong. Here is how that shift can start. First, catch the reflex before it leaves your mouth. The next time sorry rises up automatically, pause for half a second and ask, "Did I actually cause harm here, or am I just taking up space?" That half second is often enough to interrupt the pattern. Second, replace it with a more honest word. Instead of "sorry for the long message," try "thanks for reading this." Instead of "sorry I'm late," if you genuinely couldn't help it, try "thank you for waiting." The gratitude version says the true thing without the automatic self-shrinking. Third, let a silence sit where the apology used to go. Ask your question, state your need, and then simply stop talking. No cushioning sentence, no softening add-on. Let the sentence stand on its own weight. It will feel exposed at first. That's the old reflex protesting, not evidence that you did something wrong. This isn't about becoming careless or refusing real accountability when you've actually hurt someone. This is about the sorry that was never earned in the first place, the one that apologizes for existing, for needing, for simply being present in a room you were always allowed to be in. Somewhere, right now, there is a version of you about to say sorry for something that requires no apology at all. A question, a pause, a feeling, a need. You don't have to shrink to make room for other people. You were never actually in the way. That's not permission to stop caring about others. It's permission to stop treating your own existence as something that needs constant, quiet forgiveness. Not because kindness stops mattering, and not because consideration for others suddenly becomes unnecessary. It's because kindness was never supposed to require your own quiet disappearance as the price of admission. If this felt like a reflex you recognized in yourself, you're not alone in it. Come back and let's keep unlearning these old apologies together, one honest sentence at a time.